Alright, I feel like it's been longer than 3 seconds.
Hey, how's it going? This is the Baddies Overwatch League, and we're here with the... Which match is it?
Now
Is this the third match?
Yeah, I'm the one who, like, literally woke up from sleeping in a garbage can today. and you're the one who's, like, having a hard time, like, processing this.
God. Well, this is the second match of the night. That is the second match. Between... Who do we got up? There are two teams today.
Shit, I think... Oh, shit.
Baddy League and...
Blown and Yikes.
YIKES. Okay. So I'm actually excited to see another game from the Baddy League. They did pretty well. Nice comeback on the last set of maps we saw last week.
Oh yeah, that was me against him. Yeah, they had a really good comeback on. Was it Busan? Yeah, it was Busan.
Yeah. As soon as the Farah got taken out of play by the lower headroom on the map, we really saw them come back hard. So I'm really interested to see what they do here. I think.
Attackers incoming in
Eggman not on DPS like last game. I'm a little surprised. He was doing a lot of work as Doomfist on their last matchup. I have not seen the YIKES Walled? I've not seen them play yet, so not sure what to expect from them. They are running a
5, 4.
Yeah, they are running a pretty traditional strat on attack with the Sigma Orisa and a Bastion. Pretty looking to do a really hard push. We'll see if they can win the shield battle here. Looks like they might. Not a lot.
Evilite's got the TP set up right on top of the... Oh, and he gets a Bastion up there. That is not where you want a gigantic turret robot to be. And McCree is just popping off with his Bastion right now. He's already taken out the main tank for Danko's team, and he is continuing to just wreak havoc. And yeah, no, Danko's team is just going to pick it up right here.
Both healers still alive for the Baddy League, though. Leaving the possibility they could turn this fight around if they get reinforcements. Although it looks like YIKES is going to get the cap before then.
This is looking to be the fight for YIKES. Unless Blown can do anything about that Bastion, I don't see it going out for them.
No, it looks like the Baddy League did come back. I think
Baddy League comes back. Holy
preserve the engagement. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's just if you can have your healers rotate out early enough, and then you can meet them with a good tank presence, you can usually sustain if they don't capitalize on it right away. So we'll see if YIKES can come in here with another hard push. That was a big strat, but I think they can only do it one time.
Oh my god, they're doing it.
Oh, they're going for it again.
They got the Sigma up there. I bet next is some. Yep, there's the Bastion. And
I think Baddy League is ready for it.
Hell on it.
Oh,
yep.
and there we go. Immediately shut down by Eggman.
Hooked right off the top of the statue, but he's gonna pop his ult. And as you see here, Evilite's popping off with the Symmetra, taking out both the tanks. And there we go, Scotch with the revive, but is it going to be really good? Is it going to be good enough? Because Headreaver's already gotten Evilite out of the fight with that Meteor Strike, but I'd say it's a pretty even fight right now. But as I say that, look at that go. Look at Team Danko popping off with the point.
I think Baddy League pretty conclusively lost that engagement there. Both tanks were down, and I just don't think they had any sustain for the later part of that engagement. Eggman was pushed up and got picked off while popping whole hog. A really dangerous ult to pop when you're by yourself because of the complete lack of healing.
Yep, and here they go. They're just setting the Bastion back up. I don't know why they're running the Pharah. That's like Pharah's nightmare right there. A high ground Bastion. But yeah, and you got Danko with the Sigma shield, so they can't even do anything about the Bastion. They just gotta they have to get a flanker.
Well, it looks like that's exactly what Headreaver is going for here, and he comes in, gets the Mercy.
He just destroys the
But
Mercy.
Immediately taken out.
That was beautiful. He literally just appeared from the window and the Mercy was just gone.
Baddy League doing a great job of dealing with the sim turrets here, not allowing themselves to be distracted. It doesn't. Oh, and this is all
And here's the
fight.
fight right now, ladies and gentlemen. You've got a coalescence and a wall, right, coming right up out of this. But it's a pretty.
Ooh, big grab.
Ooh, that's gonna be a huge graviton flux. But now,
Ooh, but no
after all the
confirms.
keys pressed, it's gonna be a pretty scrappy fight. But as you see here, the economy of ults is already in favor of whatever Danko's team name is. I think it's YIKES. But then you got Eggman coming up with a huge hog right now. Takes out not only the main healer, but also Danko himself. And that is going to be the fight going the way of Blown.
Pretty good hold on the part of the Baddy League there. I really expected that. Sim Wall to do a better job of putting pressure on the Baddy League, but they held very strong there. It looks like we got a swap by Eggman from Hog onto Reinhardt, which I'm excited to see here. And they've gotten totally off the Pharaoh strat, keeping their Doom, but then now going for a Reaper, maybe looking to break some shields.
I'm excited for what McCree's planning.
Still on Bastion, it looks like they're very committed to the strat. Orisa, Sim, and Baptiste pushing in very early without their team. We'll see if they get punished for it. Oh, and they don't. Reaper going for a flank and then immediately having to back off.
Alrighty. So, and you gotta pop the coalescence, but
no value from
not
it,
able to get
really.
full value out of it because he wasn't able to make it. The whole point of the coalescence is to make it hard to push, and they just couldn't push up. And now they've got
popping
popping the tank,
but no,
it's not gonna get no value
at all.
This is a really weird team fight. Like both of their huge ults are just like not. They're just chucking them at the wall at this point. You're gonna have. I think what they're relying on right now is when.
Ooh, but a big rock.
You're gonna have Head Reaver going into their lines right now.
Heli strap behind. Let's see if they can capture this high ground. I think that's it for the
right
Baddy.
behind him, and he is doing. Ooh, and he gets taken out by Danko himself. But Head Reaver answering back with a good kill on both McCree and Scotch, basically dismantling the entire core of their team fight.
Eggman coming in, let's see if he can sustain for the Baddy League. I don't know how much he can do, again, with a Baptiste raining on him from high ground, with a Sigma in his face, and that's a big grab, doesn't capture
Gets
Reinhardt
Otter
at all, but does kill his only healer.
Baddy League is doing an amazing job of stalling out this point. And I think they're going to take it. Yeah, they're going to take it. Because look at that, Dr. Eggman over here popping off with the Ryan first
Oh, and follows up on the Bastion. The only thing that can really contest them, 18 seconds on the clock. Can the Baddy League pull this one out of the hat? Oh, and a grab to stall!
With the grab.
I think that's the win for the Baddy League, unless...
That's got to be a win for the Baddy League, because look at this. Now they have the Coalescence up, and they can't push against that.
And there it is. What an incredible not full hold from the Baddy League. Total reversal as soon as they started to counter those very aggressive Bastion strats. I'm really surprised. YIKES went for some very big brain plays with the positioning of the Bastion, but it didn't seem to pay off, even in one engagement. I think the majority of those they got staggered early, the Bastion was well countered, and I don't think they executed quite quickly enough to get the drop on the Baddy League.
Yeah, I think YIKES had the right idea coming out of the gates with the Bastion, but once you see that it's getting countered, that's when you gotta go back to the drawing board and you gotta say, what do we want to switch out for? And I think that's kind of their flaw that they had, where they just didn't think of any sort of switches, so they weren't able to adapt to whatever Baddy League was going for.
I really did like those plays, though. Very interesting, good ideas. I think it was just an execution problem. I mean, I've never seen a Bastion up onto the statue play, but it was very effective.
Oh yeah, McCree took out like two of their in the first team fight, took out about two of their members, and that was the one that Baddy League held.
Yeah, I think it came down to target priority. I mean, like we saw, when the healers survived the engagement, as long as the tanks made it back in time to stall, it really allowed Baddy League to rotate back in with full force, and that's not a winnable condition. That's not a winnable fight for YIKES once they burned all of their cooldowns to commit to the engagement.
Well, we're about to see if Yikenwald can pull it together and get an attack good or better than what the Baddy League did.
I don't know. It's going to be difficult. Attack is very difficult on this map. Let's see. And they're facing a Bastion strat of their own.
They're just
Let's
bunkering.
see.
And Evilite's already going to get the drop on Autobauter. You don't want to lose your support that early. And you got McCree literally just raining hell from behind 2 shields. Nothing that they can do, nothing that Baddy League can do about it.
Yes, this Bastion strat is much more effective on defense. We'll see here. Although it looks like we're seeing Headreaver go for a wide flank. Maybe he can take out the Bastion.
And that's going to be Heron taking out McCree. This is the shot. And that's going to be Eggman getting Virtual Riot and Cuban Pete taking out Chris. This is looking to be a team fight for Blown right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, and the res is shut down.
The res.
Unsightly.
Yeah, pretty conclusive victory for Baddy League on the first point.
Para reporting.
Leaving only their Moira to cap, pushing up and aggressively taking a large portion of the map.
Ooh, Headreaver caught out in the open though, almost gets taken out.
No, he was well safe of that hook. If anything, he got them to burn some cooldowns on him that he might be able to use next fight as a bit of leverage. I think the bigger problem now is...
Almost all of Baddy League just got taken out before the fight even started. I think they got just way too aggressive. But you're going to have Cuban Pete with the Moira hiding because when there's just 2 of you on that point, you really don't want to be caught out in the open, especially as a main healer. But our team fight's going to kick off with Headreaver getting taken out. And that is a
huge
fat
shatter
caddy from the boy, Dr. Eggman himself, making a name for himself in the Baddy League, on the Baddy League team. And that's going to pave the way for a really good team fight on the side of Baddy League. And it's going to be... And you know, with no... But, Tire coming in. Could it change things? Nope. There's just nothing that can be done about this. Is Baddy League going for it?
Can Virtua get a pick on this Moira? Oh, and he misses his hook and immediately gets taken out by the Junkrat.
Baddy all charged up, but Evilite coming in with a good barrage. Takes out 2 members. But it's not enough.
Payload is approaching its destination.
That's just going to be it.
And that's a conclusive victory for Baddy League, I think, without a doubt. Just an absolute dominant...
Not the team we saw last week.
Well, I think Baddy League demonstrated a lot of coordination and a lot of good play. I think the thing that they just can't deal with is a Pharah. I think you put them up against a simple bunker comp, and then you start getting a lot more value out of Eggman, a lot more value out of Headreaver. Both very, very aggressive players, really benefiting from the brawl. Popping good strats, not afraid to walk through the shields where necessary. I think the only thing that Baddy League lacks is a little bit of hit scan magic to deal with those Pharaohs.
Yeah, no, I remember last week. What was it? They had Heron on the McCree and their other DPS player, I can't remember him off the top of my head, on the Widow, and they just could not take out the Pharah. But if this is what Baddy League can do to not hit scans. If this is what they can do to bunkers, once they get their hit scans down, I think they can really be a team to shine in this league.
Yeah, lots of very tight play. I especially like the coordination because I really feel like that high tele strat on the Bastion, if they had not had the coordination to immediately start dealing with it, would have wrecked a lot of havoc. And I don't think so much on the first point, but on the second point where I saw the Bastion teleported behind them and to the high ground, I really expected them to totally lose that engagement because that's a tough position to be in. You know, you're dealing with a Sigma on the ground putting forward pressure, and you've got a Bastion up and to your left, quite able to shoot down or around your shield and pick your supports above and to the right of your shield. So you're in really serious doo-doo. I was impressed that they were able to, and I was really happy with Dr. Eggman picking up the kill on the Bastion as soon as he touched ground with the Shatter. I mean, there are times to solo Shatter, and it's definitely on the enemy team's carry. That's the right time to solo Shatter.
Eggman's making a good first year for himself in this league. very aggressive tank play. Almost, he had almost half the kills of the enemy team in almost every team fight. But he was also able to play his role as a tank at the same time, and I think that's what makes I think that's what separates good tank players from great tank players.
Yeah, tank play is all about creating space, and sometimes people mistake that for choke standing, which means holding up a shield in the wrong place at the wrong time, not to do anything. And I think that you can make a lot more space if you're willing to take the fight to the enemy and deny them terrain just based on your positioning and where you are relative to your other players. But there's a flip side of that too, which is that you cannot overextend without seriously compromising your team if you get picked early and losing the whole engagement for them.
Eggman's mantra: your enemy can't take terrain if they're dead.
Ready for battle.
But we are seeing some interesting comps coming from where is it? Blown.
Evilite running the Pharah. We have not seen the Baddy League be able to deal with this before. Let's see if it shuts them down once again. McCree running, surprisingly, McCree. So it doesn't look like the Baddy League is going to have a lot of hit scan to deal with them. It looks like we have a Bastion Sim strat on defense.
I'm excited to see what YIKES planning right here with this Pharah. Are they going to do the flank like what we saw last match, or are they just going to go for straight up poke damage from Pharah? And they're going to go straight up poke damage, no flank. Really interesting choice from Evilite to do that.
Giving him the choke for free.
Yep, and just as I predicted, Evilite going right for the poke damage. He guarantee you he's just trying to build up that ult right now. But as you see here, Blown holding down, bunkering down really well, holding the defense. But they're gonna have to get down eventually because YIKES on the point now, and that's exactly what. But we're gonna have Heron taking Evilite right out of the sky.
Ooh,
I don't know if this is the
big
team
kill
we saw
on the
last.
Sigma by Virtual Bot.
But Scotch is gonna get the res on Evilite, aka probably Blown's greatest weakness right now.
Oh, Heron totally undefended. Can the Pharah take him out? And there
They're gonna
goes.
get Heron out of the fight.
And that's most likely a
The
win.
Pharah just continuing to rain rockets down, causing damage.
I think that's a clear win for YIKES. I don't think that Baddy can come back from that after losing the Bastion, and that is YIKES
that
taking
Cole-
the first point.
Ooh.
Objective lost.
Pretty quick capture, I think. 5:40 on the clock. Can
Baddy
Baddy
was
League?
still unable to take care of this Pharah.
I think it is their biggest weakness. I really have not seen Baddy League do well against enemy Pharahs in the past, and it looks like that's holding true once again.
Yeah, you got Evilite over here literally just raining down so much damage. Like, look at that, he just took Heron right out of the fight.
Oh, but a defensive sim ult. Let's see if they can get some value.
Probably using it to...
Oh, and a big pick on the enemy
Getting
Pharah.
Evilite to... And that's going to be the retreat button for YIKES.
Ooh, and
Ooh, a
another
good
pick on
whole
the
hog
enemy Pharah.
coming out of Dr. Eggman. What a resplendent tank. The
That was a good pick
communication,
on the Moira.
the communication from him and between him and Benny has to be insane right now. 'Cause
Yeah,
that
Hulk
was-
Hook has been largely overshadowed by the shift in the meta to double barrier, but it's still an extremely powerful combo if executed well.
And we're gonna start the battle again with Evilite raining down this damage. But he's already got his ult. So I think what he's looking for right now is to either get a pig or to just put down damage to make it an easy fight to go into, you know? But we're gonna have the fight started with Chris popping the coalescence, trying to gain, probably using it to try and gain ground.
Ooh, pushing in with Whole Hog,
Canceled
immediately
out
stunned.
from his Whole Hog. Blown coming back with their own coalescence.
Oh, and
that's
an early pick on
another
him.
Hulk hook coming in from Blown. Dr. Eggman taking the gloves off today. And another hook takes out his counterpart. The man is a maniac right now.
Yiken can absolutely not contest Baddy League on their own ground with this tight choke. I just don't feel like they can push them at all. That's the third engagement we've seen Baddy League totally win conclusively so far, even with Yiken spending several ults to try to take.
And we're about to see the same thing out of Yikenwald right now, but I don't know if it's gonna matter.
I'm really looking for this barrage to do some damage here. Evilite coming in with the barrage.
And that's gonna be another hook coming out of Eggman, and it's gonna take out Danko. They cannot let Eggman dunk on them like that. And that's gonna be signaling the retreat for Yikenwald right there. They can't go in without Danko.
With such a quick first capture on the first point, they still have quite a bit of time to regroup here with 2:50 on the clock. So we'll see if they can get a full regroup and push in plenty of ults ready to go. Bongo as well as Barrage and Valk and Deadeye.
The bongos immediately, but Heron's gonna answer, and there's the Barrage, but it gets immediately canceled by Benny. But Chris with another Coalescence already coming in. Blown answering back with their own Coalescence, and it looks like that one's gonna work better as Benny picks up Scotch.
And that's the engagement.
And that's gonna be Danko just taken out again.
Baddy League looking absolutely unstoppable here.
This is definitely not the team we've seen last week.
You know, I think it really comes down to they're a very map-focused team. If they can fight on their own terms, where they can really leverage Eggman's and what's his name, Dr. Headreaver's power in letting them choose their engagements and not rushing them into ones where they feel uncomfortable, they just get huge, huge value. But I think
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Orb thrown in by Chris, but the healing just too great on the side of Baddy League. And we're gonna have bongos coming down from Benny, but Benny's gonna get immediately taken out by the junk mine. And
this
all
is the
resources
best
just
engagement
being
I've
taken
seen
out by
from Yiken so
Yikenwald. And
far.
here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Half the team, if not all of them, taken out by Yikenwald. And that is gonna be a back to the drawing board situation for our boys down at Baddy League.
with 1 minute left on the clock, it looks like Yiken has conclusively won the engagement.
Benny with the
Can
contest.
Benny stall?
But how long is he gonna last? He's already frozen, and they've got Bob. And what can Bob do? Bob's doing work. Eggman gets another kill on Marvelous Mel. Coalescence is crossing right here. You know what they say? Never cross your beam. But there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Otterbotter taken out by Virtual Rise, Gravitic Flux, but we're just getting the Q fight right here.
Eggman almost with the shatter. We can see if he can turn the fight. Oh, and a big whiff.
Headreaver takes out McCree. It's a scrappy fight right now. Everyone's already pressed Q except McCree. And it's just back and forth between Blown and Yikes right now.
Ooh, but Otter in trouble from VirtuaBot.
Danko popping off before he gets popped off himself by the dynamite. But it's gonna be Yikenwald coming up with the kills. And now they've got Marvelous Mel coming in with the
held it by themselves.
And now we got the tire coming in from Evilite, but what is it? He's probably looking for a shot in the back. He's gonna take out Q and beat it, Heron.
Oh,
and you've got McCree coming in with the Blizzard, and that's gonna be a one fight, if not a very close to one fight from Yikenwald. But yeah, as I say that, it's still very back and forth as Benny drops the minefield. All mines taken out immediately, but he's frozen. Heron coming back with the Pharaoh of his own, and that's gonna... Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what we are seeing here, but Heron is going to get a triple kill with that barrage, and that is going to end OT for Yikenwald.
Oh, what an end to a match with the Baddy League coming in with absolute dominance in the last second. Oh, that was really nice, and that was against Yiken's really strong presence. They had 2 healers and 2 tanks on point, and no, they had 2 tanks, and it was a Mei that I saw on point, which is effectively a tank. I was really impressed to see them take that back. I didn't know if we'd see the Pharah ult come out in that engagement, but they managed to stall it for so long.
What a play from Heron. Blown can't destroy the Pharaoh, but hell, they can run it really well.
That's for sure. Maybe a Torb would help them out.
Dude, I feel it.
Oh, it's amazing to see utter dominance to complete weakness with one character that an entire team can't seem to deal with. It's astonishing because watching them in any other context, you would not believe it with the way that we've seen Benny and Eggman work together with really excellent halt hook combos, or with earlier in the season watching Eggman come through on Doomfist with some really incredible basically solo carry, and then also Henry here showing really excellent flex between several DPS heroes and always getting good value. I'm just surprised to see them get shut down so quickly by the Pharaohs.
What? This is our second map, and already what a match. But gates are going to be open, and it's going to be the attack from Baddy League.
I require assistance.
Are there,
Evilite still running the Pharaoh. We'll see if
there's
they
no
have.
way they're going for the dub. And we're going to have Head Reaver popping in with the Doomfist, but he can't find anything. Evilite on his lonesome, I don't know, or no, not Evilite, Benny on his lonesome on the Zarya, but I don't know if he's going to be able to do that. But as I said, Dr. Eggman comes in with another pin and takes out McCree.
Let Dr. Eggman carry, and you can just watch the enemy fall. Let's see if he can pull
What a
another
guy.
one. I think Virtua Bot might be in trouble.
And that's going to be Scotch taken out, sacrificing herself to bring back Marvelous Mel, but it's not, but is it even going to be worth it? Because Blown is just trampling
Not at all, and
Wall
that's
right
a
now.
complete win for Baddy League. Easy first point capture, even faster than we saw from YIKES.
Dude, once Baddy League doesn't have to face that Pharah, they're getting free reign right now.
I think they managed to win the fight on the ground, and it was just the Pharah found herself in a 1v6 with no support. After losing the Mercy, trying to res the Orisa, there was just no chance.
Baddy League taking the driver's seat. We're gonna have Dr. Eggman coming in again, super
Pure
aggressive play,
aggression.
but builds the space, and he can get the support he needs from Cuban Pete, but he's taken out by Evilite. But by the looks of it, they're still committing to this, but I don't know why, unless Head Reaver comes up with a big
No
meteor
kill.
strike, which he doesn't, taken out
Oh.
immediately by Virtual Riot after getting stunned by McCree, and that's just gonna be the recall button coming out from Baddy League.
Defensive push from Baddy League. Overconfidence cost them their Reinhardt right away and led them to burn several ults in an engagement they had no chance of winning there.
But Eggman again, losing fight, but he takes out he takes out the support, and now they can just go in on this. Outerbounder's gonna get it.
Can they? Not capitalizing or taking
Here
ground.
we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Evilite popping off, taking everyone out. But as I say that, Virtual Riot, Josh Danko himself, also commits to the kills. And that's gonna be reset button again from Baddy League.
I think Eggman's getting too hype and is pushing in too hard. He's not waiting for a full regroup on his team, and he's getting picked early in the engagement. As far as I'm concerned, the Rhine dies, the engagement's over. No ults, in my opinion.
And we're gonna have Dr. Eggman going in real fast.
And yeah,
Already
there you
on
go.
point, but the rest of his team is not there, but now they are. And we're gonna have Herod coming in with the Reaper, and he's gonna take out Scotch, but it's gonna be McCree answering with a Deadeye.
And that tire taking out Eggman. A
Just
clean
icing
trade.
on the cake.
Nothing but cleanup at this
It's gonna be
point.
Virtual Riot with the hooks now. Otterbotter's gonna fall to Kriz, and that's just another fight lost from Baddy League.
Oh, this second point is so defensible. Going in aggressively like that, as we're seeing Dr. Eggman do here, I think you're just going to continue to see failure after failure until Baddy League builds up many ults, and once they have 6 ult push, provided they don't burn them here, I think we'll see the Baddy League absolutely crush YIKES with just their better brawl capability. I think it's going to come down to the ultimates. We do have a Bongo and a Coalescence, neither very high value ultimates on entry, and here's a big shatter.
Coming in from Cuban Pete right now, but as you said it, and now we're just trading beats right now. Otterbotter gets her team all set up for the win. And it might have just paid off because now the DPS on the side of YIKES is just popping off. But as I say that, Evilite gets taken out and then McCree takes out Head Reaver. It's a scrappy fight, but it is in favor of YIKES.
Oh, but there goes Eggman. I think that's the whole fight almost for sure. And
Cuban Pete taken out. That whole fight, that whole fight was put on McCree's shoulders.
oh,
McCree, the man who can play McCree.
yeah, I think this might go to YIKES I'm looking at it. We have a whole hog coming up. We have a Deadeye. We have a tire. We have a bongo, and we're halfway to both another barrier and another coalescence. And that's stacked up against only a shatter, a slam, and grab.
Dr.
So
Eggman's gonna go in really hasty again, but he's confident in it. But he already goes down to Danko. But as I say, that head revert doesn't even get to finish his punches. McCree knocks him dead.
Get into position.
Easy.
Benny totally isolated, not a chance. And there's a clear win by Yiken. It looks like they've got pretty much most of their ults left, only burning Whole Hog and Deadeye on that last engagement.
Blown want to take the win right now, but Yikenwald just not letting up.
I'm really looking for Heron to come in with this tire at 97%. If you can get an early pick on the tire, I really don't think that Baddy is going to have much trouble laying them out. As long as Eggman does not die early, Eggman, watch yourself on entry. And there's the big shatter.
And there's the shatter. Betty's going to take out Evil Light, and Head Reaper takes out Virtual Riot. And there we go, the bongo's out of the way. And this is looking to be a clean fight for Baddy League. This is the fight that they were looking for, but now Yikenwald answering with
the tire, I'm
of their
afraid.
own. But it is going to go to no avail, and is this it? Is this where Baddy League on Wednesday nights is going to do it? Are they going to go the mile and win the match already?
Forcing Yiken into a really serious trickle. I think they might win it.
But he's just going to go immediately down to Dr. Eggman again, and Heron just popping off with that Junkrat, and that is going to be Blown winning the series.
That's pretty much what I expected. I knew it was going to come down to an alt fight, and I think Baddy League on Wednesday nights has really demonstrated their just overall stronger play, but their complete inability to win the fight when Eggman has died. It really came. I think they lost 3 or 4 engagements in a row just based on Eggman pushing in too early for them to deal with. You gotta follow your Rhine, but it becomes difficult when they go too quick.
Baddy League may have won the series, but we still got another match between these two tonight, or another map at least.
I'm excited to see. I think Yikenwall might want to return to a really aggressive Ferris strat.
Yeah,
and try to leverage.
Might be their best bet, because that's what Baddy League can't handle.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like they have anything that can deal with that whatsoever. And so, a quick word from our sponsors. Do you love sweet, sweet Chinese money? Is there nothing you're not willing to give up for that extra dollar? Do you not care about personal freedoms, torture, or human rights violations? Well, then China is for you. We're happy to steal your intellectual property, hack your phones, and sell you 5G networks that are being spied on by our companies. If you're not afraid of the fact that China owns more than half the ports in the world through a very aggressive foreign investment strategy, then you're perfect for our new foreign investment campaign, China, for all of your human rights violation needs.
What a nation. Please tell me you improvised that. That was amazing.
Yeah, I did.
That was actually fucking beautiful.
Okay, let's see if I can do another one. Who's our Subway?
Now
maybe.
Subway.
Yeah.
The whole Subway thing. Just watch the Baddy League. Forget about Jared.
Initiating.
He never happened. Whole Subway campaign for Baddy League right there.
Wait, I go on. Do you want to tell yourself you're eating healthy and losing weight without ever putting in an ounce of work? No, you don't need to go to the gym, you fat piece of shit. You don't need to cook for yourself or maintain a fridge. Just come to Subway and eat our many-month-old pre-packaged sandwich meats made for you by our minimum wage high school student.
And we will make anything you tell us to. You want to buy up our whole macadamia nut cookies and put it on a whole wheat bread sub? Go for it.
That shit.
No, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That one guy. Oh, you know what? Actually, if you're going to go to Subway, I got a good sandwich for you. So what you do is you order the BMT, right?
All right.
BMT is pretty good. It's like the spicy Italian, basically, right? It's got a bunch of spicy meats. And you get the deluxe, which has, 1.5, again, as much meat as it's supposed to. And then the creamy sriracha, spinach, And then
Capture the
red onions. Let's see, what else do I put on there? Oil, vinegar, salt, and pepper. That should get you started. And then a little bit of mayonnaise. Great sandwich, honestly, with some spicy, what is it? Spicy Swiss or whatever? Pepper jack. Oh, and a big pick on the Doomfist.
Right, gonna take out Eggman again.
Interestingly, Eggman swapping 2 DPS. Let's see if he can carry as hard as he did on the last
It's already looking to be a good match coming from the side of Yikenwald.
Huge pick on Benny.
Quite dead. Danko finally coming alive on this Roadhog that we're used to seeing out of him.
Yiken just absolutely tearing Baddy League up on that first engagement. Let's see if they can. I think if Eggman dies early,
that's gonna be
Baddy
heavy
League loses.
Danko with these nasty hooks. Gonna end the fight early by taking out Head Reaver.
Eggman checking for a right flank and then immediately abandoning. Burning clock. We're already at 25-0. Let's see if Baddy League can regroup and push in hard.
If you're Baddy losing, you're saying to yourself, how do we get rid of Danko on this hog? But it's gonna be Bolt coming out, and McCree is just gonna get halted right into the well. But it doesn't even matter because Yikenwald is coming back by killing both tanks on the side of Blown, and that's gonna be Heron out of the fight.
Yeah, every fight Baddy League loses, Eggman is almost a guaranteed fail. Every fight I've seen Eggman die early in the engagement, I've seen a clear loss by the Baddy League. I almost want to see Eggman stall his dive a little later and let his team get their heels in before he goes in for his hard carry.
Eggman's gonna use the Meteor Strike, but what's he gonna use it for? Is he using it to basically
so far out of
coming in on the ooh, that's so far in, but
yeah,
he does not make it out. But it is a trade at this point. Scotch and Eggman out of the fight.
This is the best position I've seen so far.
Otterbotter almost gets hooked into the well, but it's going to escape, and Heron's gonna kill Virtual Riot with his own flashbang. Evilite with the Sombra. You can tell Heron's looking for it, but he doesn't know, and he's gonna get hacked. But I'm not sure if it's gonna do anything because Heron's got the Lucio, but he's gonna get taken out by McCree anyways, and Evilite coming up on the kills on Otterbotter. And McCree just popping off, taking out both supports on the side of Baddy League on Wednesday nights, and it's gonna be McCree putting the team on his back for that one.
Huge grab, huge halt, moving the hog into the well there as well. Really taking 600 HP out of the fight. Effectively more like 1,000 if you include the breather.
We're gonna have Evilite going on this flank, taking out Cuban Pete with his Deadeye, and that might be all that Yikenwald needs to finish this fight and win the first round. And it's gonna be McCree again with the pop-off. As I say that, Otterbotter groups 2 into the well, but it doesn't matter.
Complete dominance by Yiken there. Absolute dominance.
Defeated but not dead.
Score 0-1.
Very interesting. So we actually saw Yikenwald completely dominate a whole series of engagements without resorting to a Ferrostrat at all. I mean, that was entirely pretty much an apples to apples comparison, both teams running hog and on and off anyway.
And Danko just came up with the superior hooks, and I think that's what won them half of their team fights.
I also really got to say, I think when Eggman dies early, I don't think Baddy League has a chance. I think Eggman pulls a lot of weight on their team, especially on the DPS role, and when he's getting picked early in the engagement or going in too deep or going in without his team, you just see that carry disappear and become a real disadvantage for them.
Yeah, there's some teams like that they have their one pop-off player that once they're out of the fight, you gotta call the retreat button. And we're gonna start off this team fight with McCree taking out Head Reaver, but Heron's gonna answer back by taking out Evilite.
Baddy running a Winston. We saw that very successfully earlier in the league. Let's see if it continues to be successful.
Danko just in the middle of the enemy team, taking fire one after another, but he is managing to survive and he is thriving in his environment right now. It's gonna be Yikenwald picking up the kills, but it seems like Blown still wants to compete to this, though they cannot.
Not a chance. Yiken owns this engagement right now. I think Otter's being foolish. He might, and he escapes on.
The fact that Otterbotter is still alive is absolutely incredible.
Just a miracle. I think we really just saw a whiff, a very uncommon whiff from Virtual Riot, who has demonstrated outstanding hook accuracy throughout. I think that was just pure luck that Otter didn't find himself getting taken out there.
Surrender to my will.
And the fight's gonna be started. Chris coming out with the Coalescence.
Also a whole hog.
But Heron answering with his tire.
Huge answer.
Big middle finger to Chris saying, what is your healing gonna
Rush,
do?
Baddy League. Rush directly to point. Let's see. Will they rush as they need to win this objective? And yes, they will. That's a clear retake by Baddy.
Coalescence. And ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be a clean sweep coming out of Baddy League.
That double tire, I mean, they win engagements. That's the truth. You take that much firepower out of an engagement, and there's no backbone left. But can they hold it? I'm not certain. Yiken has shown significantly better brawling
there's
ability.
a hook from Danko again.
Oh, and it does end in a death by...
Ed Reaver does get killed, but Eggman is going to take out Danko. So we're looking at a scrappy fight. And Decker Eggman's going to take out Evilite now, too. The man is just popping off on the meter strike. Is he going to use this one evasively? No, he's just going to... He is just going to sit on McCree's face right there.
Eggman has one style, and that's aggressive. Not sure if it'll benefit him here. I'm a little scared for the Baddy League with their Reinhardt pushing up fairly aggressively on and off. Will he fall victim to Virtual Riot's consistent hook accuracy?
Virtual Riot gonna hook and kill Otterbotter early in the fight, but Chris is gonna answer with a Coalescence, which I'm super surprised that they still want to engage this fight without their off support. But they're making it work as Chris gets the Coalescence kill and Virtual Riot comes in. But here we have it, McCree coming up with the Deadeye, but gets no kills with it. Despite the multiple whiffed ults, Yikenwald is still gonna get the point out of that. But it cost them a lot of ults.
It did, but I think many of those ults were unnecessary. Yiken really has demonstrated they picked a healer early in that fight. I mean, you're going in one down, just a Moira to contest all that damage coming in from McCree.
And we're gonna have Danko coming up on a whole hog. Probably gonna use it in this fight as there's no other ult on the side of.
Ooh, but here comes Inherent's tire. Let's see, can
there
it win another fight?
The tire is gonna pick up Marvelous Mouth. Danko going to use his whole hog to no avail, just gets taken out by Benny, and this is just gonna be a clean sweep again coming from Baddy League. Dr. Eggman picking up the kills today.
Baddy League sure can take him, but I'm not sure they can hold him. Control points, I think, might be their weakness. The retakes are so strong, but they just always seem to lose players early and then get staggered on the follow-up. When they're together, they're totally unstoppable, as we've seen.
And that's going to be another hook, taking out Cuban Pete, a huge piece of their team comp. But Chris is going to try and keep it alive, but Dr. Eggman's going to say no, and he's just going to crush Marvelous Mouth. And we're going to have Heron and Eggman popping off.
Oh, using the ults to just wipe the floor. And that's a clear
Look at this,
win.
McCree with the back
not
cap.
a chance.
Actually caps it and takes out Heron. What a Chad.
I didn't even notice it was so stealthy.
And now they're bringing it back to a scrappy fight, and now you got the stall heroes coming out from the side of Yikenwald just trying to hold this point.
I think Virtual might actually win this with the tire. Oh,
like taking out Dr. Eggman, and the point is just flipping back and forth between teams. But now you got Heron coming in with a tire of his own, taking out Chris. And that is gonna, and it's still a scrappy fight, but as I say it, the kills start to come in from Blown.
I think that's looking like a clear win by Baddy League here. Yep.
What A round.
I think we just got to applaud the McCree back cap. That is one of the
That
most
is
insane plays
that
I have
is
seen
that
in
is
a while.
big brain
How-
play right
Where
there.
did he sneak from is the
I don't
question.
know.
We were
And how
trapped
did he do it
inside
as
spawn.
McCree is the even better question.
And you know, it's not like McCree is a character with tons of mobility. I was
I mean, if it was a
very
Genji or a
surprised.
Sombra, then it'd be understandable. But he did it with a McCree.
You know, when you just gotta roll.
Dude, when
You
in doubt,
gotta
roll it
roll.
out.
Oh gosh.
5, 4, 3.
But now, this match,
Ooh, I am scared for the Baddy League. We've got a Pharah and a Pharmacy coming in from Evilite, who's demonstrated really excellent Pharah play, especially using his ult effectively. Looks like we've still got Eggman on. We've still got Eggman on DPS.
you're going to have Evilite raining in this early damage, just trying to build up that barrage because he's going to need it for this kind of fight, especially in Lighthouse. And that's going to be Evilite picking up the first kill on Cuban Pete, setting the fight up for Yikenwald to win this one.
Ooh, really pick on Eggman by Virtual Bot.
Danko going to take out Dr. Eggman with a melee attack, and Evilite just raining. Evilite being this team's worst nightmare right now.
Benny suiciding intentionally not to give the ult charge there.
Evilite's already 65% of the way to an ult.
And that's going to just spell death for the next engagement here. We all know how horrible Tower can be with Barrage. There's really not a chance of evading him, especially with a Pharah being
And
pocketed by
Aaron
Mercy.
taken out before the fight even starts by Marvelous Mel. So this is spelling, if you're Baddy League right now, you're scratching your heads thinking, what do I do about this far, and how do I engage it?
I think the honest answer when it comes to Baddy League is you don't. I mean, they have not demonstrated the ability to deal with the Pharah in one engagement thus far. In fact, I think they'd be better suited just ignoring the Pharah and brawling the people on the ground.
Oh, but as we say that, Benny gonna give his life to kill Danko, and Heron's gonna come in with a tire and take out Marvelous Mel.
And that looks like a probable win for Baddy League. Let's see, with their Zarya pushing it a little too early, I'm a little afraid.
Cold Lessons coming out of Chris. Heron takes out a free though.
Big kill on the Reaper.
Chris just all on her lonesome on the point and gets taken out, but we have Evilite.
How
Can he
is
clutch
Scotch
it?
alive?
No, he cannot. There is no way he does. Eggman going to take out the Pharah.
Great stagger. I'm just so impressed. Good cap by Baddy League. I think we've seen that they can consistently win engagements when big picks come in from the tire. I mean, we all know that they're great brawlers. It's just a matter of they're allowing the Pharah to totally zone them and control the entire map. And the reality is Pharah does do a lot of damage, but not enough that Baddy League couldn't simply engage the enemy.
And it's going to be another hook out of Danko. Forcing Cuban Pete to answer with a Coalescence. Both the support ult coming out from the side of Baddy League. Dr. Eggman, though, going to get a pick with his ult on Scotch. Huge pick, but as I say it, Danko takes out Cuban Pete, and it is just back and forth between the two teams. It could be anybody's fight at this point.
Yiken totally backing out, giving up the engagement, leaving their McCree totally isolated. And that's another clear win for Baddy League. I think Baddy League just needs to take the fight to the enemy. They do the best when they're not even contesting the Pharah. Because so far they've not demonstrated any ability to do so.
And they're gonna have Evilite chucking in these rockets again. He's probably looking for a really good ult to pop.
Not sure why they're peeking. Oh, and here comes a Shatter.
Solo Shatter coming in from Benny and a Vader attempt to take out Danko. And you're gonna have Chris coming in with another Coalescence, gonna take Benny out. Cuban Pete goes down. Chris going crazy with this Coalescence.
I think that's a win for Yiken. I can't see them losing it at this point. Yep. I think that really what I saw there was I saw Benny get out of position, and that was the end of the fight. Benny went for that Shatter, but then he tried to commit to it, not with any abilities, but with his positioning, and that cost them the fight. There was no way that he could return.
But we're gonna have
great
Dr.
sightline.
Early pick on Evilite, which could really spell disaster for Yikenwald. And he's gonna take out Scotch as well, so that's the Pharmacy out of the fight from McCree, answering back with his own Deadeye, gonna take out Autobatter. McCree just popping off, doing work for the side of Yikenwald. Scrappy fight, could be anyone's at this point until Cuban Pete pops the Coalescence. just so they can get onto the point, and we're gonna have Danko brawling it out with Benny. But what's gonna happen?
It really depends. We're
But then we're gonna have Headbreaker take out
very soon.
Virtual
Get
Riot.
ready.
Here we go.
Barrage
Benny
coming in.
ready with the fire strike on Marvelous Melon. It is looking to be Blown's fight right now. Chris Pop and the Coalescence, hopefully for another miracle. Even like coming in with
there's that barrage.
and now it is just a super scrappy fight. YIKES
Not
is
really
getting
any
too much to
value
a fight.
from the barrage though. Just a Moira.
And now they're going to get the stagger on Danko.
And that's another win by the Baddy League. Pretty impressive.
McCree on the Tracer now. But look at this. Almost no ults to work with on the side of Yikenwald. They committed everything except the Mercy ult.
Well, we didn't see Evilite pick up hardly anything with the best ult in their...
And we're gonna have Heron taking Evilite out early. Benny sacrificing his life to Noah to do absolutely nothing, but Dr. Eggman and Heron popping off. The 2 DPS of Baddy Overwatch League on Wednesday nights doing the work, and that is gonna be a maybe? No, Virtual Ride is gonna get out, and
Baddy owns this
it's
fight.
gotta be. It's gonna be a 3-0.
They own it. Yeah, it's over.
A full 3-0 coming out of our boys from the Baddy Overwatch League tonight.
Yeah, and I think we've just seen that the Baddy Overwatch League really has just stronger brawling capabilities. Consistently, again and again, they win engagements where one of two conditions, their win conditions are don't lose the healer early and don't let Dr. Eggman die. And if Dr. Eggman dies, get the heck out of the fight. And I think one more win condition for them might be don't fight the Pharah on their terms. I see them poking heads all the time, giving sightline, and I just can't understand why. Because they're not poking to poke the Pharah. I don't see any damage being projected at that Pharah. They just stand there, look at her, and take poke, and it doesn't make sense to me. But every time they bum rush the ground forces, they're effectively in a 6v5 or a 6v4. Because the pharmacy is trying to land damage on them from above, but they can win that ground fight and rotate into cover and then deal with the Pharah after healing back up. And that's where I've seen them be successful, but not under conditions where they can test the Pharah directly.
What a match for tonight, though. Baddy League coming in rough first week, but really bring it back with a 3-0 victory. But it is not over yet. We have still got one more match for tonight between... do you have the roster up?
I do.
All right, who do we got it between?
Oh, who's fighting, though? Let me check the...
I know one of them's face down, shields up. Is it Scared Shrekless versus Shields Up?
I thought it was the Goofy Goobers.
Oh, it might be Goofy Goobers v Shields Up. Overall,
Yeah.
it's going to be a great match to watch, especially seeing Shields Up last week.
Just keep an eye out for a ball on the Goofy Goobers who falls off the map consistently. They have some really bad players on that team, especially Live Axolotl. Absolute trash. Don't know how he got into the league. Well, that was a really exciting match. I think that...
Holy shit, that was a really exciting...